Hey guys, I'm excited and I don't want to disappoint you. I'm not disappointing. This is helpful. I know it's helpful. We're making really awesome roasted broccoli that literally takes like 60 seconds for you to make happen. And we voted, and the truth was that the tomato thyme garlic like heavenly dip won, but only by a couple, and I couldn't find thyme anywhere. I went to I was going to say 3 different stores, but I didn't. I went to 2 stores and they didn't have. So we'll just have to wait until they get it back in stock and then we'll make that. But this is really amazing also because honestly, I like this broccoli. Hey, Hoots. I like this broccoli less as like a side dish because it's very just like rich and I don't know, it has like a really strong flavor. But it's first I'm getting distracted because my husband is like pressing 1,000 buttons all at once. Anyways, so like the other broccolis that I posted for you, like the sauteed ones and like that, I like those better to like just like serve as a side dish. This, honestly, I mean, it's amazing as a side dish, but I love it as I add it to salads, especially like a dressing that has like a balsamic base. If you add this roasted broccoli into the salad, your salad will like become phenomenal. You'll be like, why is this so much better? I don't understand. But it just like adds a depth of flavor that's just unreal. So, okay, so let me just show you what we're using. Okay, here is my frozen broccoli. It's still frozen. I just took it out. Here's my pre-peeled garlic because you know I do not peel my own garlic. I also use garlic powder. Look, I'm at the end of my my pepper, but that's okay. That's all we'll need for today. My salt, which apparently I'm also at the end of, and I didn't realize I have to buy more. Now the truth is I'm not gonna, but I'm just telling you, when I make salad dressing, this is like my favorite like balsamic based salad dressing, and I make it like the beginning of the week, and then we just like use it. So there's like a little for you. You can do that too. Okay, so and then of course, let me show you. I'm doing it in a Pyrex. You could totally do a cookie sheet, and I'm just using parchment paper so that I don't have to wash it later, or if I do have to wash it, I'm not going to wash it. But if I do need to, it's way easier to do because I just like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's getting like charred on there and stuck on there. Another thing is because we're using frozen broccoli, so first of all, can we all just appreciate the brilliance here? I'm not washing this. I'm not chopping this. I'm not checking this. I'm just going to literally rip it like you can watch. Here we go. This is the prep. This takes longer also because I'm explaining what I'm doing. And there it is. Boom. Right? This is something we all have time for. My new thing for time is I feel like I need to show people they can do this faster than making like Easy Mac. Or whatever it's called, mac and cheese from the box with the neon orange. Like that's like my goal. Make it easier and faster than that. Because then like, come on, if it's easier than that, like you'll just do this. Okay, so let me see, you can see it in there, right? It's in there. But also because we're using frozen, it is important to preheat your oven. So I put the oven on like 500. I'll type this up for you guys when we're done. But I put the oven on like 500 as I'm doing this. Maybe even if I think of it earlier, one second, my hands. Then I'll do it earlier because we really want it really hot because we want it to cook through, thaw, and crisp these up really fast. If we do it low, then we'll be like kind of like mushy. So there you go. Pro tip. Oh, and olive oil, I forgot. Okay, you could do olive oil or avocado oil. These are my faves. Look, there's the avocado oil I got at Costco. Here's my olive oil. Did I say avocado? Yes, avocado and olive. I'm using olive. I like it. If you're concerned about the heat and you're like, but Shayna, I thought you can't let olive oil get too hot. You're right, you can't, but because it'll smoke, right? And once it's smoking, it becomes rancid. And then instead of being like a nourishing fat that's helping our immune system and boosting our metabolism and building our brain, doing all the things that we want it to do, it becomes toxic, which we don't want once it smokes. However, it's not really going to smoke because the broccoli is so cold that the oil, like I'll mush it all up in a second, but I just want my hands to be clean for a little longer. it doesn't actually ever get that hot, right? If I was just putting the oil in the oven and put it on 500 for like 25 minutes or so, it would get too hot. But again, it's mixed with all the broccoli that's frozen still, so it never actually gets that hot. The other thing I wanted to share is one of the reasons I like olive oil. I feel like I've never actually talked about this on here. I talked about it in the fats class that I taught, which you can check out if you want to. It's called The Skinny on Fats, and I explained like all the deal with all the different fats and oils and why, sorry, my drawer is opening, why I choose what I choose, why I like what I like. This in particular, I like this olive oil because it is organic, because it is third-party verified. So a lot of the olive oils, the extra virgin olive oils in the United States and around the world that claim to be extra virgin olive oil are not. They're like a combination of canola oil or soybean oil, but they add like flavorings to, which is like crazy. But they, I guess, like, I mean, not I guess, I did a bunch of research into it. They add flavors and colors to it to make it like match perfectly, and I guess unless you're like a super fancy connoisseur, you can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference, but this one in particular from Costco has been third-party verified. So I know there are other good ones too, but I don't know which they are off the top of my head, and I know that one's good. I also like both avocado oil and olive oil because they're monounsaturated fats. Probably you've heard of like saturated fats and polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. So those are, it's just describing like the different shape of the molecule. But monounsaturated fats are really good, so we can use them. Okay, so here I am just kind of mixing up the broccoli, and I'll actually show you something real fast I'm gonna make right after I finish this with you guys. Hi, Mommy! My mommy's watching. Look, I did this like, you're gonna laugh. I did this morning. These are like chopped up sweet potatoes. I don't peel them. I don't peel them. Why would I peel? I want to make a sweatshirt for you guys, like a nutrition hackers sweatshirt that says like peeling is for losers. I mean, I feel like it's a little more negative than I like to go, but come on. Anyways, that I'm doing this, I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing to the sweet potatoes. Maybe I'll do the sweet potatoes with you guys another week, but it takes like another extra 10 seconds to do that, and then I put them both in the oven at the same time. Okay, so now I have the olive oil. I should have probably put the garlic in first, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Now I have to like mush that in too. So I'm just gonna put actually, you know what? I'm gonna put in like 10 pieces. You could totally get away with like 2 or 3, but my husband loves the garlic pieces, and so I'm just adding more for him because why should I not? Okay, now I'm covered in oil. Snap. Okay, I'm totally doing this in the wrong order because now I'm like oily. Normally, I'm like distracted talking to you guys, but normally what I do is I pour the oil, then I pour all the spices, then I stir. I don't like stir, so now like every single one of my things is getting oily. Here's my black pepper. Oh, that I finished. There you go. Okay. I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can. But behind me I have like a pot of water boiling. Hey Marissa! Okay, so now it's all covered with the spices. And I'm just stirring it. This is like really when you should stir it. You don't need to do it beforehand and get your stuff all oily. And then, okay, I'm going to wash my hands really fast. But I have the pot of water boiling because, you know, like in the winter when you have the heat on for so long and everything gets like staticky and dry and like your skin and your hair and like you brush it and then it goes like attaches to the brush, it's because it's super dry. And so if you have like a real, what's it called? Not a dehydrator, but like a mistifier? What is that word? Anyone want to jump in here and tell me what's the word? Humidifier, okay. I remembered, okay. If you have a real humidifier, you could totally use that. But I think I have one somewhere, but I can't remember where it is, to be honest. We might have lost it when we moved because the last place we lived before here had mold, we found out. And so we like left overnight and pretty much lost all of our belongings, humidifier included. Okay, so that's another story for another time. But anyways, I'll show you here. You see my messy kitchen. I just have a pot of water boiling. And it's just that it's not so crazy dry in my kitchen, and my hair is not frizzy today. And also like just, you know, if you in the winter you might see like that you or your kids wake up with like a little almost like bloody nose, or like they pick out like a nasty booger and it's like a little bloody. I know, it's so classy in here. It's just because it's so dry. And so I just have that going. I finally started today. I keep thinking I should do it, and I did it today. So yes, I'm a big fan of journaling because when you write something down, it like helps you actually take action with it. Anyway, so I was saying I need to do that. So I did that. So that's going. So I'm just gonna put this in the oven at 500 for like 25 minutes or so. That timing will fluctuate depending on the size of your florets. You know what I'm saying? Like this floret, see how big it is next to my hand, whatever. It's pretty big. But this one is so teeny, right? Hey, hey, Brittany. So most of them are big here, so I'm gonna go for the bigger one size. But like sometimes I just find it depends on the bag. So your timing will depend on the bag. I also just want to explain a little bit. So yeah, this is so yummy. It's so good for you, right? Like broccoli. I feel like broccoli is like the classic. Like, oh, it's so good for you. Like broccoli and Brussels. I'm gonna sit down actually while I tell you this. So you know, broccoli and Brussels sprouts are so. Should I sit there with the cool painting behind me? We just moved our house around, and I got a new table, and this is my painting behind me. Okay, that's a nice, better background than a blank white. But so a lot of times people think like broccoli is so good, but it's also, I feel like it's one of the ones that people always assume like the kids are gonna hate, that everyone's gonna hate because like, oh, it's broccoli, it's not good. So I think it's really important to figure out not just an easy way to make it, because like anyone could steam it, but that tastes like crap. Like no one wants it, and then it's like a punishment. When I make this, like everyone eats it up really fast. Interestingly, this one I feel like is a little bit more of an adult taste. When I make like the sauteed ones that I've made in here before, my kids like that one more. When I make this one for the salad, like me and my husband and whoever I serve it to is always like, oh my gosh, the salad's so amazing. But broccoli, it's really high in vitamin C. It also is bright green. So anything that's bright green is really good for detoxing, and it cleans your blood and it cleans your liver, right? So that's good for a million things, honestly. But some of the things people care most about, right, is if you have like any inflammation buildup, often, I feel like the lighting is so weird. Okay, that's better. If you have any inflammation buildup in your body, like if you have arthritis or you have, if you're just like prone to getting sick, there's a lot of pieces that go into that. But one of them is often that there's like toxic buildup, just like in your blood. Or if you have a ton of trouble if you have a ton of trouble losing weight, like if you're a kind of person that you're like, oh, I feel like I've been so careful. So of course there's a lot of factors that go into this, but one of the factors is that your body will store excess toxins in your fat tissue when there's too much in your bloodstream. So one of the easiest things you can do is to increase your dark green veggie intake, and that cleans your blood and your liver. And that helps because like your liver's job is to clean the toxins from your blood, right? So, but if your liver is overworked and there's too many toxins in your blood and too many toxins in your liver, it can't keep going. So when you increase your dark greens, it flushes the toxins from your liver and from your blood. So then if there's other toxins that are in your system that your body's been storing in fat tissue, now it's safe for your body to clean that out, to like release that fat tissue and release those toxins into your blood, because it's no longer at like peak levels. It's like back down to normal, so it can handle like another influx, if that makes sense, and your blood, your liver can clean it again. I feel like I made that sound really confusing. If anyone wants to, it's much simpler than that, and I've explained it 1,000 times. I don't know why this time it came out sounding so weird, but if you have questions, let me know. So it's really good for that, and also just in general, you know, one of the biggest things you can do to boost your immune system is just like clean out the toxins, right? Like imagine like a pipe that's just like clogged, that's just like, right? You just like clean it out, keep things moving. And that's actually, you know, it reminds me of some people have really a lot of success with bringing their kids to either like a really good osteopath or chiropractor. I always prefer an osteopath, if you're curious what I prefer, but I know other people like a chiropractor, so that's okay. I would say it's really important to choose someone really good. I would not just go with like whoever's cheapest or whoever's closest to me. For that kind of stuff, I will always make sure it's someone that's really good, that comes really highly recommended, and I'm willing to pay a little bit more for it because I think it's really important. But the reason I'm bringing that up is that I know a lot of people who've had a lot of success boosting their kids' immune systems with just like adjustments, physical adjustments, and people are like, why? Like, what does that matter? And it's because like if the pathways, right, our body's like a whole electrical system, right? Like there's all these pathways of fluids and things that need to move, need to get where they need to go, and if something's pinched or if something's stuck, that can really mess with the whole system. And so oftentimes like a an osteopathic or a chiropractic adjustment, or even honestly, you know, stretching, yoga, things like that, where it just like helps your body like do what it needs to do. You know, how often are we like kind of like this, or our kids are like that, when like our body thrives when it's like in an open state. And so just eating those things that are also really good for keeping the pathways open also makes a huge difference for that. So broccoli, because it's dark green, does a lot of good for that. Garlic's also like a natural antibiotic, and so that's cool. We use garlic powder, which is definitely less medicinal, but I also put the fresh garlic. Also, when it's raw, it's more medicinal, but again, like it still has tremendous healing properties even when it's cooked. And I just think it's really important for things to taste good. And I think it's really valuable to learn how to make things taste good using healthy ingredients, so that we don't fall back on using like, I don't know, those like cup of soup, well, not the cup of soups, but like the bouillon cubes with MSG, or like a duck sauce that has like a ton of sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try and show you guys these things are like, it's super easy, cheap, right? Like ways to do it. Pretty green broccoli. Thanks, Marla. And Marla, I don't know if I've seen you on here before. Where are you from? What do you want to learn next? So and then the olive oil, like I taught before, it's really good for a lot of reasons, and then it just goes in the oven, comes out, and we're good to go. So I hope that's really helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions. Did I want to ask you guys anything? I'm trying to think. Sometimes I hop off and I'm like, snap, I wanted to ask something. I think I'm good. Oh, I know what I need to do. I forgot to do my intro. So I hope this is really helpful. The reason why I think this stuff is really valuable is a lot of people are new. I'm a nutritionist, and I'm a strategic nutritionist, which means that I teach people how to use their food as medicine. So I've helped clients overcome all kinds of hormonal imbalances, whether that's PMS or PCOS or really heavy bleeding or infertility. I just had a client this week who emailed me that she's finally pregnant after being married for like 5 years and trying for 4.5 years. So that was really amazing. And I'll post that as a screenshot as soon as I get permission. So I had permission to say it, but I think the screenshot, she wants to wait a little longer, which I totally understand. And I've helped people heal all kinds of digestive issues, whether that's IBS or Crohn's, or a lot of times people feel like this kind of like chronic low-grade anxiety that like sits in their stomach, so we can deal with that, because a lot of times, you know, we can't, I'm not there to help you with the practicalities of your life that are causing you stress, but when you eat properly, you boost your body's natural ability to cope with it, right? Like how come two people could be in the same situation, even with the same like emotional support, but they can have very different reactions, and that's in large part due arthritis. There you go, Mama. Yes. I've helped a lot of people with arthritis very quickly, like within like a week and a half. Like it's like down to nothing or like negligible, and then after like 2 weeks it's like gone. So that's pretty amazing without medication, right? Hey Racheli. So what was I going to say about that? That basically what you're doing by eating these foods that your body really needs, you're enabling your body to cope with that situation better, right? It's like the difference of like trying to drive your car with like a teeny bit of gas or plenty of gas. Like you can get there much better. You can perform those issues much better. And the last thing, exhaustion, of course. I'm preparing a class for you guys on that, but it's like I'm preparing a really awesome class. It's taking time. Not that this isn't awesome, but this is more on the fly and less prepared, as you can see. This is just like me talking. So yeah, if you struggle with exhaustion or moodiness, that's also like a big deal, and something honestly that you can see a difference within like a day. It's really awesome. Sometimes even like within a couple hours. So hope that's awesome. Hope that's helpful. I mean, I think it's awesome. I hope this is awesomely helpful for you. Let me know if you have any questions or requests. And next week, I'm going to try and do the tomato dip for you guys because I couldn't find the time this week. Haha, that's a pun, but I didn't mean it. Like I have time. I'm sitting here with you, spending my time with you. But they didn't have the THYME, which you need for the dip. So we're waiting. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye.